خبثي. Good. Good afternoon. Are you all there? Well, Kenny, Fred, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. I have placed the register on the chat. Please make sure that you complete the register.
I've already completed the register.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's done.
While we wait a bit, do you have anything you want to share with me? Are you happy with the module? Not struggling? Anything
No.
I must be aware of?
No, not struggling.
I've been
Okay.
I've been having a problem with I've been having technical problems. So this year is my first time I'm doing maths, and I'd like to be helped with the calculations. And I'm struggling to do my second assignment as well. Is it the third one? Sorry, the third one. I think it's the third one. Hello?
Yes, I am listening.
Oh, yes, that's all that I have.
Okay. Have you been part of or are you in one of the WhatsApp groups that I've created?
I'm not part of the WhatsApp groups. I've been trying to get the groups, but I haven't been. It's my first time to be part of the classroom, like the online class.
Okay.
So I'm not part of the WhatsApp group.
No problem. I will post on here as well the link to the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. No one should be left behind. That's the motto. So we're not leaving anyone behind. So we're here to help you. I'm going to share with you the link while we wait. I'm giving it 5 more minutes to see if we'll start at 6:05 to see if anybody joins.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
we will start just now. I have pasted the link. Who's that person? Your cursor, you don't have to write your student number. There is a link to the attendance register. Please make sure that you complete that link, that attendance register. And Wakeni, I've sent the link to the WhatsApp group on there, so you can join the group.
Okay.
I think now we can start.
Thank you very much for the WhatsApp link.
Yeah. I will have to copy again this. It seems like it keeps on disappearing on us for some reason. Okay, Mohammed, make sure that you welcome and make sure that you sign the register. The link is on the chat. Okay, so we can start. Earlier or later, just now, a few minutes ago, if you are registered a registered student at UNISA Western Cape, I have sent you the links to all the things you need to be aware of the notes, where to find the notes, where to find the recordings after the session has ended. But remember, the session, once the session has ended, it takes about 72 hours for that to be loaded onto the platform. So you must just be patient. Okay. So let's look at today's session. So today will be our second session. It seems like we've been here forever. Like I've been with you for almost a month, but it's only second session today. And we're going to cover fractions. I have broken down this into two. So we do the fractions today, and then next week on Wednesday, we're going to do the LCMs. And then when we do the LCM, I'm still going to introduce the fractions as well, but I will introduce the fractions with variables. So today we only deal with the numbers. And I need to also mention this, that since the tutorial session started late and we only have limited number of hours and we only do tutorials once a week, and with the limited number of hours, it means I cannot do the entire, like everything in that 1 hour, 30 minutes. So it's always going to, we're always going to be behind with tutorial sessions, and your assignment might be due and you need to submit. That does not stop you from asking for help. Like what Kenny just said, she's struggling with third assignment. But I don't blame her because she's never been part of the class and she's not even part of the WhatsApp group. You have me on the WhatsApp group and have other students on the WhatsApp group. They are meant for discussions when it comes or when it's related to your module. So use those platforms to engage one another. Don't just share options for assignment. Show each other how you worked it out. Show each other how you solve the problem. And in that way, you are also learning and you also helping them to learn. Don't, on the WhatsApp group, I don't encourage you to go there and start sharing. Question 1 is option 1, question 2 is option 2. No, I want you to, when you say question 1, this is how I solved question 1, and then I get the answer, and this is, then they can make up their mind whether that answer is option 1 or option 2, but at least you have shown that how you calculate that option. So with tutorial sessions, I need to also mention that we only prepare to write the exam. So I want to make sure that by the time you go write the exam, you feel comfortable that when you open that exam paper, you are able to answer those questions without panic. So, and that is the purpose of the tutorial sessions as well. It's not to help you with your assignment, because I know that we are already way behind your assignments. They are the content that we're doing now, you already have submitted some of the assignments, but this tutorial session is just to help you understand the content even better. So enough with me saying a lot. So let's look at fractions. Before we start with the fraction, we need to understand what we mean by fractions. A fraction is a number that represents part of a whole. And for example, if I have a pizza and it has 8 slices, and if I give away 3 slices, I will say I have given away 3 slices out of 8. And that is how you talk about fractions. And because I'm talking about 3 slices out of 8, I am talking about 3 slices. Oh, sorry, it seems like my pen is not writing. I'm talking about 3 slices out of 8, and that's how we write it. What we mean is the top part becomes our numerator and the bottom part becomes our denominator, and that is fractions. It's how we represent the fraction. And there are different types of fractions. The fraction, which is called the proper fraction, it is a fraction where the numerator is small and the denominator is big. So at the top, there will be a bigger number, and at the bottom will be a smaller number. Then we also have what we call an improper fraction. An improper fraction, the top part is big and the bottom part is small. And that is what we call an improper fraction. Sometimes in your assignment or in the exam, you will be expected to do the calculation on fraction, and you get an answer as an improper fraction, which looks like this. This is not the lowest form for that. It's not how you simplify your fraction to the lowest form. A lowest form of a improper fraction, we call it a mixed fraction. And a mixed fraction is where you have a combination of whole number and other fractions. And the proper fraction. So what do I mean? This is a mixed fraction where you have a whole number and also a proper fraction. Now, to move from an improper fraction, we say, so if I move from here to here, we say 4 goes how many times into 7? It goes 1 time, and the remainder will be 4. The remainder will be 3, because 3 plus 7, 3 plus 4 will be equals to, sorry, I'm doing it all wrong. What we say is 4 goes how many times into 7? It goes 1 time, and the remainder, so if we multiply 4 by 1 is 4, and we subtract that from 7, it will give us 3, and that will be 3 over 4, and the remainder is 3. And to move from a mixed fraction, which is that, to move back to an improper fraction, it's very easy to do, because we just say 4 multiplied by 1, and we add 3 to it, and then it will give us 4 multiplied by 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7, and the denominator stays as 7 over 4. And that's how you move between the two fractions. So when we solve the fractions, you will see that sometimes they will give you the mixed fraction. You need to change them to an improper fraction before you work through the problem. So we always use improper fraction if we were given a mixed fraction. But sometimes you will be expected to leave your answer as a mixed fraction. How you will know? You just have to look at your options on your answer sheet too, and that will guide you whether your answer should be an improper fraction or it should be a mixed fraction. Sometimes they might also want you to move into a decimal, but they will tell you change the improper fraction to a decimal. you have to know how to do that. And sometimes it's easy to use your calculator, but in your module, they might say, do not use a calculator. Nobody is looking at you, so you can just use your calculator as well to calculate. But what you are expected when you solve fractions in your module, you always have to solve them manually. Do not use your calculator and solve them with decimals. You have to solve the fractions as fractions, and I will show you how to do that. So let's look at how we solve fractions where we have addition or subtraction. It is easy when we have those, because with addition and subtraction, since they have the same priority, it doesn't really matter, because we can move also from left to right when we solve the fractions that have both of them. But otherwise, also in terms of the rules, solving a minus or a subtraction and an addition of fraction, they apply the same rule. What do I mean? When we have a fraction with the same common denominator, so it means the bottom part are the same. If you look at this fraction, both the sides are the same. Therefore, it means they have the same common denominator, which is equals to 9. You can write it as 9. And we say 9 goes how many times into 9? It goes 1 time. And 1 times 5 is 5. Otherwise, when you have addition or subtraction of fraction with the same common denominator, we just subtract or add what is at the top. So since that, we're going to just subtract the numerators. And that will be 5 minus 3 is equals to 2 over 9. And when you work with fractions, sometimes it's also advisable to also solve them to their lowest form. If 2 can divide into 9, you have to simplify it into that lowest form. But at this point, 2 cannot divide into 9, so we leave it. The answer will be 2 over 9. The other one is if you are given fractions where you have to subtract or add, but they do not have the same common denominator. So the denominators, the number underneath, when they are not the same, what do you do? So since they have different denominators, like 6 and 12, those are two different denominators, then we need to find a common denominator. Finding a common denominator, it is the number that both those two numbers can divide into and not leave a remainder. So a common denominator will be the number that both those two numbers can divide into and not leave any remainder. And if we look at 6 and 12, the common denominator is 12, because 6 can go into 12 and 12 can go into 6, and 12 can go into 12. So 6 goes how many times into 12? It goes 2 times. 6 goes 2 times, and 2 times 5 plus 12 goes how many times into 12? It goes 1 time, 1 times 4. And the answer you get is 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 times 4 is 4, divide by 12. So 10 plus 4 is 14, divide by 12. Now, since 12 and 14 have other numbers that can divide into, so we need to divide into those two numbers. What will be the number that can divide into both of them? And that number, for now, I can think of 2. So 2 goes how many times into 14? It goes 7 times, and it goes how many times into 12? It goes 6 times. And I have what we call an improper fraction. And this is not the lowest form. If I want it at the lowest form, I will have to say 6 goes how many times into 7? It goes 1 time, and the remainder will be 1 over 6. Because if I multiply 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1, it will be 7. And the denominator stays. And that's how you solve addition or subtraction of fractions. Let's look at more complex one. Let's say I have my a subtraction and addition and a mixed fraction, and I need to simplify this fraction. The first thing that you need to do to simplify this fraction is to we first have to resolve the mixed fraction and make it an improper fraction. So we say 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2, and minus 1 over 6 plus 2 over 3. Now, since addition and subtraction have the same priority when it comes to the BODMAS rule, remember, BODMAS, it says brackets first, exponents or powers, division, multiplication have the same priority. We work from left to right, but after division and multiplication, then we can do addition and subtraction. And addition and subtraction have the same priority, so we work from left to right. So since we're working from left to right, it doesn't really matter. It's addition and subtraction. Therefore, it means we can go ahead and find the common denominator. What will be the common denominator between all three? The common denominator will be 6 because 2 can go into 6, and 6 can go into 6, and 3 can go into 6. And we say 2 goes how many times into 6? It goes 2 times multiplied by the numerator. Minus 6 goes how many times? It goes 1 time multiplied by 1, plus 3 goes how many times? It goes 2 times multiplied by fraction. 2 times 3 is minus 1 times 1 is 1, plus 2 times 2 is 4 divided by 6. Please make sure to mute your microphones. You can hear that your dog is howling outside, is barking. Please make sure that you mute. 6 minus 1 plus 4 equals 9. So therefore the answer will be 9 over 6. And we know that there is a number that can divide into both of them. Which number it is? It's 3. 3 goes how many times into 9? It goes 3, 6, 9. It goes 3 times, and it goes how many times into 6? It goes 2 times. But then this is still an improper fraction. We can leave it as a mixed fraction. Then we say 2 goes how many times into 3? It goes 1 time, and the remainder will be 1 over 2. And that's how you simplify fractions. Any question? If there are no questions.
Hi, Lizzie.
Yes.
I've lost you on that step where you started simplifying 3 over 2, 1 over 6, 2 over 3. Can you just go back there and the next step?
This one.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. The first thing we need to do is to first change the mixed fraction to an improper fraction. To do that, we say 2 multiplied by 1 plus 1. 2 multiplied by 1 plus 1 at the top. And the numerator stays. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. And the rest stays as they are because it's minus 1 over 6 plus 2 over 3. Then we need to find the common denominator because we're doing addition and subtraction of the 3 fractions. So since addition and subtraction have the same priority, we work from left to right. They have the same priority, we work from left to right. And because the rule for both of them are the same, if they do not have the same denominator, we find the common denominator and then we subtract what is at the top. That is what, or add what is at the top. And then we go find the common denominator, which is 6. Then we say 2 goes how many times into 6? It goes 2 times. And then we multiply by the numerator, which is 3. Minus, which is that minus. We say 6 goes how many times into 6? It goes 1 time. And we multiply by the numerator, which is 1. So 1 times 1 plus, because of that addition sign, 3 goes how many times into 6? It goes 2 times. And we need to also multiply with the numerator 2. And we'll simplify this. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4. And then we say 6 minus 1 is 5 plus 4 is 9 over 6. And that's what we get. And we simplify this. We know that there is a number that can divide into 2 of these values. We know that 3 can go into 9 and it can also go into 6. So it goes into 9 3 times and it goes into 6 2 times. And since this is an improper fraction, then we have to solve it and put it or simplify it so that it becomes a mixed fraction. So we say 2 goes how many times into 3? It goes 1 time. And the remainder will be 1 divided by the denominator of 2.
Okay, I got you.
Thank you. There is an exercise.
Hi, Lizzie.
Hello.
Please help me. My screen is blank. Can't see anything since you started. I only see your picture.
Are you using a phone or are you using
I'm
your
using a
computer?
phone.
Go out and come back again.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
There is your exercise. When you are done, just tell me done so that I can know how many people are done.
Needed to make use of their opportunity. Oh, great. And so maybe, Kara, to give you a chance to follow up on what Dwayne said there, can you give us an idea of what
Are you still busy? Are you done? Hello? Are you guys there? Or are you going mute on me?
We're still here, but it's a bit tricky, this one.
Are you done? Or you are still busy? Guys, you need to talk to me. You have to talk to me. How is it? Are you done? Are you busy? Are you having problems? Do you need help? It doesn't help for you to be quiet.
We are done.
Lizzie,
Yes. Yes.
no, I was going to say
Someone
my confusion is that the three numbers, the denominators don't have a common denominator between the three. I mean, 9 and 3 only have the common denominator, not the half, not the
okay.
2.
Who found the common denominator? What is the common denominator? Anyone?
It's 18. It's 18, Lizzie. I think.
How did you find your common denominator? Because it will be the number that all three of them can divide into. Can 9 divide into 18? Yes.
Yes.
2 divide into 18? Yes.
Yes.
18? Yes. And that's
Okay.
your common denominator. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. But if you feel that you don't know what your common denominator might be, you can always multiply what is at the bottom with one another. So you can say 9 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2. You will see, you can use the method, we call this method the lowest common multiple. And we can use that as our common denominator as well. But we will learn more about it tomorrow. So for today, 18 is the common denominator. So since you found the common denominator as 18, let's continue and answer this question. Nobody wants to try. Okay, I will do it. And the next time you do the exercise, somebody will have to say what is the, or how we solve it. We say 9 goes how many times into 18? It goes 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Minus 3 goes how many times into 18? It goes 9 times. 9 times 2. 3 goes how many times? Sorry, 6 times, ne? 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. 2 goes how many times into 18? It goes 9 times. 9 times 1 is plus 9. 8 minus 12, it's minus 4. Plus 9.
5.
It's 5 over 18. And the answer would have been option number 4. Any question? If there are no questions, then we move to the next one. I was going to do this next exercise with you, but you can write it down, or you can take a picture of it, or you can come back to the recording and look at it. Also, it has addition and subtraction. They have the same common, the same priorities. So we work from left to right. You need to find the common denominator, add and subtract, and you will find your answer. You're not going to do that. I'm going to pass and go to the next section. The next section, we're going to look at multiplication. When we do multiplication also, there are many ways to do it. So find the one that you feel comfortable with. So I'm going to show you all three ways of doing it. So with multiplication, it works different. Only addition and subtraction, you find the denominator. Multiplication, you can start by simplifying things. So we first going to do the normal one. The normal one says, with multiplication, you multiply what is at the top with what is at the top. So we'll do the normal one. Multiply what is at the top with what is at the top. That's the normal one. So 3 multiplied by 1 is 3 over 4 multiplied by 6 . 4 multiplied by 6 is equals to 24. Can 3 divide into 24? Yes. 3 goes 1 into 3 and it goes 8 into 24. And that is 1. The other method is by simplifying up and then also do the multiply what is at the top with what is at the top. So what do we mean is, if you are able to simplify the values at the top and the top, then you can do so. If not, then you leave it as it is. So if I see here, I cannot simplify at the top and at the top, they stay the same for this exercise, then it means I can still continue with my multiplication. 3 multiplied by 3 will be 3. 4 multiplied by it will be 24. And the answer will give me 1 over 8. So if, for example, this was 2, let's say that one was 2 over 4 multiplied by 1 over 6. What I mean by simplifying, we would have said 2 goes 1 into 4 into 2, and it goes 2 times into 4. And that is what I meant by you simplify up and down. So your numerator divide into your denominator and vice versa. And you do the same on the other side. But since this one does not have those numbers that they can simplify and divide into, we don't have to worry about that. Then the next one is to simplify cross-cross. So it means if a value from the numerator of the first one, will have to simplify with the value from the numerator of the second denominator of the second fraction. So 3 goes how many times into 3? It goes 1 time. It goes how many times into 6? So that will be 1 over 4 multiplied by 3 goes how many times into 6? It goes 2 times. And then we also do the same. So it will be 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 2 is 8. And if you look at them, they all look exactly the same. So you can crisscross and simplify that way, or you can do the normal multiplication. What is at the top multiplies with what is at the top, and so forth. Okay, let's look at more examples. So let's say I have this one, where I am given 2 mixed fractions. So to solve this, we first say 4 multiplied by 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13 over 4, because we have to change it to a mixed fraction, an improper fraction first. Multiply by 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7 over 3. Now, since I am multiplying, I can also check if any of these can divide into each other. They cannot. So it makes it easy. We multiply what is at the top with what is at the top. So 13 multiplied by 7 is 91. Divide by 4 multiplied by 3, which is equals to 12. And since this is an improper fraction, we can take it to a mixed fraction and say 12 goes how many times into 91? It goes 7 times. How do I check my remainder? Because I don't know what my remainder is. I can always say, to find my remainder, I can say 12 multiplied by 7, subtract, 91 minus, let's make it that way first. We can say 91 minus 12 multiplied by 7. So 91 minus into bracket 12 multiplied by 7 close bracket equals, and I get my remainder is 6 over 12, because if I say 12 times 6, when I multiply my 12 by 6, I get 72, and I add 6 to it, and it does not give me 91. What did I do wrong? So 91 minus 12 times 7 close bracket is equals to 7, not not 6. Yes, and that will be my answer to that. Okay, so there's no exercise for now, because we need to do the division. Once we are done with the division, then I will give you an exercise, because divisions and multiplication works almost the same. With the division and multiplication, I have the same priorities as well, but also when we deal with fraction, because when we divide fractions, then we can change, the rule or the method is to change the sign from a division to a multiplication. So therefore, it means if both of them happens to be in the same equation, then you can just solve them all at once by just changing the division to a multiplication and solving your fractions by multiplying them together. Okay, so let's look at divisions of fractions. So let's say we have 6 over 7 divided by 3 over 14. When we have divisions of fractions, we apply a method called KCF. And this method of KCF, it's easy because it says, keep the first one, change the sign to a multiplication, and then flip the second one. So we're going to keep the first equation or the first fraction. We're going to change the division to a multiplication. And when we do that, we swap the numerator and the denominator of the second fraction. So we keep We keep 6 over 7. We change the sign to a multiplication. We flip, 14 comes to the top and 3 goes to the bottom. And now we can simplify the fraction. Remember, we can use the crisscross simplification of these fractions. So how we do that? We say 3 can go into 6. 3 goes 1 time into 3, and it goes 2 times into 6. And 7 and 14, they can also divide into each other. So we say 7 goes 1 time into 7, and it goes 2 times into 14. And then we can apply the what is at the top, multiply with what is at the top. So we take 2, then it will be 2 multiplied by that 2, divide by 1, multiply by 1. And the answer you get will be 2 over 1. Any number divided by 1 is the same as that number. So then the answer will be equals to 2. And that is division of fraction. Any question?
Is it not 4/1?
Oh, sorry, 4/1. Yes. Oh, gosh. Been a long day. 4/1. Yes. You got it right there.
That's okay.
Okay. So let's look at when we are given a division and a multiplication. Since they have the same priority, now here we also have mixed fractions. So it means the first thing that we need to do is to change the mixed fraction. 3 multiplied by 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4/3. Divide by 2 multiplied by 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9/4. Multiply by 3/16. Now, with the KCF method, you must remember KCF we keep, we change, we flip. Ignore that other one there on this side. If there was an addition 1 on this side, we also ignore that part. We will ignore this part, we ignore that part. It works like that. So we only keep, the only thing that you concentrate on is where the division is. You only do the fraction before and the fraction after. That's the only KCF method you apply on. You apply it on only those two, the one before and the one after. So let's solve or simplify this. We say we keep the first, we change the sign from a division to a multiplication, we flip 9 and we flip 4, multiply by 3/16 because there is nothing we can do with that one. Then from here, we're going to simplify the equation. We're going to simplify the equation. So if I look at this, there are many numbers that can be simplified. So 4 goes 1 time into 4, and it goes how many times into 16? It goes 4 times into 16. And 4 can divide into each other. 4 goes 1 time, and it goes 1 time. Then we have a 3 and a 9 and a 3. So, but we can say 3 goes how many times into 3? They go 1 time and 1 time into there. And what is left? We multiply what is left at the top with what is at the top. What is at the bottom, we multiply with what is at the bottom. So here we have 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 1. We left with 1. 1 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 1 is equals to 9. And that's how you solve fractions with a multiplication or division of fractions. Any question? If there are no questions, there is your exercise. You can do that exercise. If you have an answer, you can post it on the chat. And then we come back at 6 o'clock. Let's make it at 5 to 7. We come back at 5 to 7. So let's make it 18:55. And then we recap and we do some of more exercises after that. But that is your one exercise. And then you can also take a break and come back at 5 to 7. And remember, every time you join the session, please make sure that you mute your or you switch off your video. You turn your camera off and you also mute your microphones. And those who came in late, I know I'm disturbing you right now. During the break, please make sure that you complete the register. The link is in the chat. And those who need the WhatsApp group, to join the WhatsApp group, that's where we send most of the information about the session as well. You can join it. The link is also on the chat. See you after 5 minutes. Okay, I guess everybody is back and you have answered this question. Who wants to try it? Who wants to share with us how to answer it? Anybody? Someone? Anyone? Oh gosh, Ngosiam. Maybe we need to pause and reflect. Why are you here? Why are you torturing yourself? Come online and listen and just listen to me. Because you can always not come to class and watch the videos afterwards. Why are we here? Guys? Because I think from tomorrow, from next week, I can cancel all the classes and record all the slides and then post them and you can have access to them. Because you don't need to ask question, you don't need to comment, you don't need anything from me. So will that work best if I do it that way? Because then it's also going to save me 1 hour, 30 minutes of my time. Because it will take me 30 minutes to record the slides on my own and just do the activities and send it to you guys and you can work through them. And we leave it at that because that's what you are doing with me right now. Anybody? Because then we can call it the night as well, because then there is no need for me to continue after this, because I will be giving you more exercises to do that then I will expect you to answer them. So, but since you don't want to talk to me, then it means we can call it the night and you can go and work through the exercises on your own. And we save everybody's data as well. Any comment? Or anyone who wants to try this exercise? Nobody. Am I alone in this session? Maybe I'm alone. Everybody left. Let me just go and check.
Yeah, here, Lizzie.
Still here.
Gosh.
Check the head.
Yeah, we here.
It seems like I'm here alone. So
You're not alone.
Mameli.
your quietness is so deafening. Like I feel like also my device is broken. Maybe somewhere I need to go fix it. Please, guys, the sessions are meant.
But also check the heads.
But the sessions are meant to help you. If I don't know if you know how to answer the question, how am I supposed? I cannot make assumptions on your behalf. I cannot assume that you know the answer. I cannot assume that you know how to solve this fraction. I can only know that you know how to answer this if at least one person does it and show me that you know how to answer the question. At the moment, you are all quiet, whether you know the answer or you don't know the answer, or you've worked it out, I don't know. It doesn't help me. I am fine. Me, I'm happy. I don't have any issues. I'm not going to write the exam. You are going to write the exam. I am here to help you. But you are quiet. I ask you a question, you are quiet. You sure? it's demoralizing as well, because then I don't know why I'm here. Because you have all the resources. Your lecture is posting all the resources online. I'm posting, you getting all this, and then you go quiet on me. I don't know.
Okay, let me try and do it. Hi, Lizzie.
I am listening. I'm waiting.
Okay, what I did is I kept the first 1/3, and then I changed the sign, and I said 7/6. And then I said times 3/1. And the second method, and the second one, I said, I brought down 1/3, and then I said 3. I did the crisscross method. 3 goes 1 time into 3, and it goes 2 times into 6. And then I said 1 goes 1 time into 1 and 7 times into 7. And then I brought down 1/3 again. I brought 1/3, and I said 1/3 times 7/2 times 1/1, and I got 7/6. And then I said 6 goes how many times into 7? It goes 1 time, and yeah, my remainder was 1/6. So
Yes, number 3. Yeah.
And that's how you do it. And you did it. And it's correct. Any question? Anyone who has a question?
Yes, Lisa, I do. I got confused as to what do you keep and what do you flip. I think that's where my confusion was.
The one way has a division. Oh, you wanted to say something? Sorry. Someone wanted to help you?
I'm agreeing with the sister. What you mentioned, the confusing is the flipping part.
Yeah, the flipping happens only for the one before the division and the one after the division. So the KCF only works with the division side. That is why the method is KCF. Keep the first one, change the sign, and flip. The rest stays as they are. So we're only going to look at the division, only where you have a division. The first fraction and the second fraction between the division. That is the only thing you concentrate on when you apply the KCF method. You keep the first one, you change the sign to a multiplication, and you flip the second one. That's it. The rest stays as they are. Okay, let's do more exercises so that then you can understand how to do fractions.
Lizzie, sorry. On your example, when you were doing the division and multiplication, you flipped the first one, which was 4/3, and then on the next step you got 1/1. So I think that's where, yeah, you see the 3/4, you flipped it into 4/3.
I didn't flip anything. I didn't flip.
Okay. Sorry.
I
Okay, I
the
see.
second one. Only the second one.
I see. Okay.
You only flip the second one and you keep the rest.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. My slides are thinking. So can you see the slide? What do you see in front of you?
Exercise 1.
Exercise 1.
Thank you. That's your
Exercise
exercise.
1.
That's your exercise to do. It says change that mixed fraction to an improper fraction. And this one should be easy, quick and short. Do we have the answer?
Yes, number 2.
How did you do that?
You multiply 6 by 3.
Mm-hmm.
Add 5, which is the numerator, and then that gives you 23 over 6.
And that is number 2.
Phew, at least I knew that one.
Oh. Okay, there we have an addition and multiplication. Always remember the Bodmer's rule. Multiplication before addition. So it means you go into first, solve that. Then when you have the answer, you go into solve the addition part. So you will solve that and get an answer for it while taking down the 5 over 6 plus, and then you get an answer there. Then you do the addition part. But you first need to do the multiplication one first. And remember, with addition of fraction, you need to find the common denominator if they do not have the same denominator. And when you are done, say done so that I can hear how many people are done. It's easy.
Done.
Thank you. Remember, I only want to know how many people are done. And if you don't know the answer, you can also say done, but don't know if I'm right. It's still fine. Then I will know that you've worked it out. And you are done. You are done. Others, are you still busy?
Done, I'm done.
Thank you. Okay, your cashier is also done. Others? Nope. Okay. Right. Who wants to go? Who wants to do it?
Can I try?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I took down a 5/6.
Mm-hmm.
Then I cancelled. Oh, Yuma. I don't know how to explain it, but I will say it the way I wrote it down.
Mm-hmm. Continue.
Okay. I wrote 11 as the enumerator.
Mm-hmm.
Times.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I got the
You have in front. What you have in front of you. I will just
11,
write it.
11/12.
11/12, and then
I added the numerator together, 11 plus 5. Then I wrote down the 12. Then I got 16. So it got 16/12, which is option 3.
Okay. Anybody else who wants to try?
Let me try.
Okay.
I started by, I brought down 5/6. Then I solved the other side. I said at times numerator with the numerator 11 times 1 over 3 times 4. I got 11/12.
Yes.
So I said 5 plus I said the common denominator is 12. Then I said 6 goes how many times is 12? Goes 2 times. Then I said 2 times 5 got 10. And then I said 12 goes how many 12? How many times is 12? 1. 1 times 11. Then I got 11. So it's now, yes, 10 plus 11/12. Then I said 10 plus 11, I got 21/12.
And which is number
1.
1.
Yes.
The other one who did it first, do you see where you went wrong? Because we're doing addition, you didn't check for common denominator. You must first do the common denominator and then solve the fraction using the common denominator. By saying what the denominator goes how many times into the common denominator and multiplying back with the numerator. That is very important, especially when you're doing addition of fractions. While you're still beating yourself up, let me give you also a simple one. Take the mixed fraction, the improper fraction and convert it to a mixed fraction. Also, this one is easy. So you have 2 minutes. And when you are done, just say done so that I can hear how many people are done. It is very easy to do.
Done.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you. There are about 6 people on this group who are present today. So I expect to hear 6 done. There are
Done.
2, 4. Thank you.
Done.
Thank you.
Done.
1. Thank you. I will let that other one slide. What is the answer? Anybody?
It's question 4. The answer is 4. Option 4.
Yeah. How did you do it?
Answer is number 3.
Yeah, you see, someone says answer is number 3. Someone says answer is number 4. The first guy who answered the first one where he said number 4, how did you do it? So that we can help the rest.
Okay, so.
Oh, sorry, Liz. Answer is number 4. 3, 5 over 8.
Yeah. Yes, wait. How did you do it? Remember,
8 goes into 29 by 3 times, and the remainder is 5 over the denominator 8.
Yes.
Okay. 8 goes 3 times into 29, and the remainder is 5 over 8.
8.
The reason why I don't want you to only give me, like, say, option 4 or option 1, I want you to tell me how did you answer that? How did you get to that answer? Reason being, someone sitting at home who's going to come back and listen to this video needs to know how did we get there. They won't know. So we need to explain to everybody so that even you, when you forgot, you can always come back to the video and say, oh, how did we do that answer? And then you can listen to the video again and it will give you exactly step by step how we answer the question. Now, so we're not going to just give options. We're going to give steps. The last exercise of the day, then we call it quits. And it seems like that exercise is not there. You know when it's on your screens. And it came and went. You have a division, you have a multiplication. So simplify the expression. Remember, when you're done, let me know. Okay, your Kesha says done. And Shani. Others, are you still busy? Witness said done. Nkodisheng, Sindiswa, Wakeni, Subisiso, how far? Okay, Nkodisheng is done. Wakeni, Sindiswa, Subisiso. Okay, two last people. Wakeni is done. Subisiso is done. Great. So only Sindiswa is still busy. Let's have Sindiswa. Who wants to go? Who wants to answer the question? The best way of answering the question is not to look at the option, is to answer the fractions as you see them. Because if you're going to go and look at the options, you might get confused. They are helpful, but sometimes they can confuse you. Who wants to go first? Anyone? Nobody. Here.
Hi.
Okay,
Hello.
Lizzie. I could not. I got stuck. It's Cindy, so but when I used your KC F, I took
Let's
2
let's
over
do it.
2 divided by 5. I kept. I changed into the multiplication, and then I flipped the 4 over 5, and I kept the times 1 over 6. And then the lowest common denominator was 30, and that's where I got stuck.
Okay, so when we're doing multiplication, we simplify. We don't do the lowest common multiples. Only when you're doing addition or subtraction, you use the lowest common multiple. Multiplication, we simplify. We can now just crisscross and simplify what can go into the other, divide, reduce the numbers, things like that. Who wants to help? So she got the first step right. The second step is to simplify the whole multiplication.
Hi, can I try, please? I'm not sure if I got it right.
Yes.
Okay, so then what I did is I cancelled 5 out, and then
Because
the 5 on top.
5, yes.
Yep. Then I cancelled 2 out, and then 2 goes into 4 twice. Then I brought that down and said 1 divided by 1 multiplied by 1 divided by 2 multiplied by 1 divided by 6, and that's equal to, so on above, 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1, and then below it's 1 times 2 gives you 2, and then 2 times 6 gives you 12.
You see how easy it is? All you need to remember is when you do addition and subtraction, you find the common denominator. That's for addition and subtraction. When it's multiplication, you can multiply what is at the top with what is at the top. You can simplify what is at the top, crisscross like we did. 5 can cross into 5 and things like that. Or you can simplify by going up and down. For example, if we have 2 over 4 multiplied by 3 over 6, we can say 2 goes how many times into 2? It goes 1 time. It goes how many times? It goes 3 times. We can do it that way. Or we can say 2 over 6. We can say 2 goes how many times into 2? It goes 1 time. It goes how many times into 4? It goes 2 times. 3 goes 1 into 3, and it goes 2 times into 6. And then you can do the multiplication, which is 1 multiplied by 1, which will be 1, and 2 multiplied by 2 will be 4. And that is multiplication of fractions. Then we also mentioned the division. Remember the division? With the division, we apply keep the first fraction before the division, we change the sign, and we flip only the second fraction after the division sign. Only those ones. We change the sign to a multiplication. Then when you have done that, when it becomes a multiplication, then you can do the multiplication of fractions. And that's all what we did today. So you always need to remember, addition and subtraction, we find the common denominator. Multiplication and division, they work almost the same, because with division, you have to change the sign, but remember to flip the equation. And any question? Any question? And if there are no questions, then that concludes what we did today. And in the chat, I'm going to post the link to the feedback form. I will be with you just now. I just need to go to this site, and I need to stop the recording.